Hello, my name is Edward Morris, and I'm going to tell you a story about when I was growing up in the 1700s, before Ross McGregor lost 98,000 in the options contest. The British Empire was the big dog on the block, and that particular block spanned the entire globe. For the British, the 18th century was a time of prosperity and opulence, meaning a large section of the population had money to invest and were looking for places to put their money. The South Sea Bubbles story started in 1711. Bubbles are fun. They are so bubbly. I used to love blowing bubbles when I was a kid. Now back to the story. After a war with Spain left Britain £10 million in debt, the British government proposed a deal to a financial institution, the South Sea Company, in which Britain's debt would be financed in return for 6% interest. The government offered the company another benefit to spike the punch: exclusive trading rights with Spain's colonies in the South Seas, now known as South America. Why would anyone want control of South America? Ottavio is from there, and he can't even speak English. Anyway, the South Sea Company quickly agreed to the deal due to the potentially lucrative trading opportunities with the gold and silver-rich South American colonies. Additionally, it was believed that Mexicans and South Americans would eagerly trade the gold and jewels for the wool and fleece clothing of the British. The first issue of stock for the South Sea Company didn't even satiate the rigorous appetite of the hardcore speculators. Bloody hell, how much rigor did the investors have? I think it's more rigor than Rob Rodeman's Investments 2 class. Even the average investors knew about this company's coming dominance, so nobody questioned the repeated reissues of stocks by the South Sea Company. People just bought the expensive stocks as fast as they were offered. It didn't matter either to investors that the company wasn't headed by experienced management. Those who led the company, however, were born public relations directors, who set up offices furnished with affluence in the most extravagant quarters.
How nice are our quarters?
Once they saw the wealth the South Sea Company was generating, couldn't keep the money from gravitating towards the South Sea Company. Not long after the emergence of the South Sea Company, another British company, the Mississippi Company, established itself in France. The company was the brainchild of an exiled Brit named John Law. His idea wasn't so much based in trade, but in switching the monetary system from gold and silver into a paper currency system. The Mississippi Company caught the attention of all the continental traders and gave them a space to put the hard-earned dollars. Unlike America, where any worker's hard-earned dollars are taxed and given to the drug dealers in East St. Louis, who were on food stamps. Soon the worth of the Mississippi Company's stock was worth 80 times more than all the gold and silver in France. This success on the continent stirred British pride, and believing that British companies could not fail, British investors were desperate to invest the money, much like Ross McGregor's options trading strategy. They were blind to many indications that the company was run too poorly to break even. Hell, shipments of wool were misdirected and left decaying in foreign ports, and people wanted to buy even more stocks. The South Sea Company and others made a point of giving people what they wanted. The demand for investments caused initial public offerings to sprout out of everything, much like a man being aroused by a female, and as a result, the stock price hit an all-time high of £1,000. The investments sold faster than rifles at the Republican National Convention. As the value of the South Sea Company continued to rise, investors became increasingly wealthy. The investors decided to celebrate the newfound wealth by dancing. People were happy. People had grown from rags to riches like that Rob Roderman guy. Rob is a rock star on the highway, but he struggles in parking lots. Bloody hell. He even ran into his own house, for Christ's sake. Eventually, the management team of the South Sea Company took a step back and realized that the value of the personal shares in no way reflected the actual value of the company or its dismal earnings. So they sold the stocks in the summer of 1720 and hoped no one would leak the failure of the company to the other shareholders. Like all bad news, however, the knowledge of the actions of the South Sea Company management spread, and the panic selling of worthless certificates ensued. In conclusion, the South Sea Company was a bubble of epic proportions. In 1719, the company's stock was trading at just over £100. By the summer of 1720, the price peaked at £1,000. Unfortunately, by the end of 1721, prompted by management selling the shares, the stock price plummeted below £100. As a result, the British government outlawed the issuing of stock certificates, a law that was not repealed until 1825. The South Sea Bubble was a devastating event in Britain's history. That is all for me. Edward Morris signing out.